In Afghanistan, a Loya Jirga, a traditional assembly of tribal elders and political leaders, is underway. Delegates in Kabul will decide whether to approve a key long-term security agreement with the United States. Afghan President Hamid Karzai urged delegates to support the pact that would govern the presence of U.S. forces in Afghanistan after their combat mission ends next year. In St. Petersburg, Russia, 5 Greenpeace activists, including photographer Denis Sinyakov, have been released from custody after posting bail. So far, the court has granted bail to 26 Greenpeace activists from among 30 people arrested after a protest at a Gazprom oil rig in the Arctic 2 months ago. In Moscow, artist Pyotr Pavlensky has been questioned by police about his protest performance near the Kremlin. The artist was charged with hooliganism after he nailed his scrotum to the pavement of Red Square. Pavlensky says his performance was meant to protest the indifference shown by Russian society to widespread government control. Also in Russia, Pyotr Verzilov, the husband of jailed Pussy Riot activist Nadezhda Tolokonnikova, has been able to visit her in a prison hospital in the Siberian city of Krasnoyarsk. Tolokonnikova had been out of contact for several weeks while she was transferred from another prison. She's receiving treatment after her health deteriorated during a recent hunger strike. In the Armenian capital Yerevan, protests continued against a new law that requires people under 40 to pay an additional 5% of their salaries into a pension fund starting next year. Opposition parties in parliament are seeking to postpone the implementation of the law and are threatening to contest its constitutionality. In Kyrgyzstan, supporters of a member of parliament detained on corruption charges gathered in front of the government building in the capital, Bishkek, to demand his release. Akhmatbek Kaldebekov of the opposition Atatürk party was detained this week for alleged abuse of office as the former head of the tax service. Kaldebekov's supporters say the charges are politically motivated. In Bosnia-Herzegovina, forensic experts continue the exhumation of a mass grave where they have found the remains of about 430 victims. War crimes investigators suspect the victims are Muslim and Croat civilians who were detained and executed by Serb forces during the Bosnian War in the early 1990s. In Pakistan, a bomb targeting security forces killed 3 people and wounded about 25 in a suburb of Quetta, the capital of Balochistan province. In a separate incident, several people were wounded in a suspected suicide bombing near the Torkham border crossing between Pakistan and Afghanistan. In Georgia, non-governmental organizations are protesting the parliament's plans to simplify the process of stripping historic sites of their status as cultural heritage monuments. Activists have collected nearly 1,000 signatures for a petition urging the government to take action against the planned changes. And that's the video roundup from Radio Free Europe, Radio Liberty.